Okay, so I think that this is a blessing that he's bringing the new with not the old, but the new with the OGs, like Skinny Reed, Tom Sanders, and a lot of people, even though NYU was in the Bronx, a lot of people don't know about Tom Sanders. Okay, got 8, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, no 6, like some of the NBA players was talking about. He got 8 titles, okay, and with the Boston Celtics. You know, people say that because it's not a big deal to them to play with a team, and you know, back then it was a situation where there wasn't that many people that were free agents. See, Oscar Robertson started with Cincinnati, finished with Milwaukee, okay? But that's when free agency started, okay? Usually when you start with a team, you usually end with a team. And Boston probably has more guys that are retired that's in the Basketball Hall of Fame than anybody else. More than the Lakers, more than anybody you could think about. You know, more than the Knicks, okay? Because back then in the 50s and the 60s when it was, I call it not the basketball era, but the Russell era, okay? There won't be another team ever to get 11 championships in 13 years. And the reason why he didn't get 12, okay, because he was hurt his last couple years and they didn't repeat. All right, so I say that to say that the basketball is, it's not like the one in Springfield. You know, we have people, hopefully, that we will honor that probably maybe never will be in Springfield, but maybe so. Floyd got honored by Brooklyn, okay, Harlem, and also the Bronx because he was born in Brooklyn, but he moved to the Bronx when he went to CCNY. So people don't know that. People say, oh, where's Floyd from? He was from the Bronx, okay? Nate Archibald was born in Manhattan because people always say Harlem, on 18th Street. I call it Manhattan, okay? And I moved to the South Bronx, okay? And my loyalty was always to the Bronx because growing up, I don't remember Harlem.
Gotcha.
Okay, I remember the Bronx, you know, living in the Patterson projects. That's what I remember. And, you know, when I talk to people about that, oh, you was born on 118th Street? Yeah, I was there for maybe a couple years, but we moved to the South Bronx and the Patterson projects. And it was one of the greatest feelings to be a part of a housing project than ever I could imagine, okay? Because a lot of people think that, you know, torn buildings, cars, and stuff like that. I told people when I grew up, and maybe the Lord was looking out for a lot of us, I was blessed. And not with talent and ability basketball-wise, but with all the things that surrounded people, okay, whether you live in the projects, whether you live in the tenements or not. I tell people that when you dream about not being a basketball player, but when you have a dream, I said at one time, you know, just walking the streets of New York and stuff like that, I dreamt that I was part of the Knights of the Round Table. I had armor around me because there was so many things that was going on. People were getting shot, people were getting stabbed. You know, you talk about it wasn't cocaine in the late 60s, 70s, okay? It became heroin, okay? My two brothers was on that, okay? So I had to get them out of there. But I think that because of a dream of playing sports, okay, it kept me from doing other things, okay? It was a kind of, it wasn't a blessing that I played in the NBA. I tell people, no, it was my mentorship that helped me strive to get, first of all, the education, okay? Because you know this, and anybody who don't know, if they're listening, if you don't go to school, you can't play on the team.
That's right.
Okay? And with the coaches that mentored me, if you didn't keep your grades up, okay, you couldn't play on the team. So I failed off at Clinton in my sophomore year. And people say, well, you got kicked off. Whatever you want want to know, that's what happens, fine. But coming from me, I'm saying I was negligent because I didn't go to class and do what I was supposed to do in class, okay? And all they was trying to do is give you a template of this is what's going to happen when you go to college, okay? You become a student athlete, you know, and a lot of guys now leaving early and stuff like that to play or just get a chance to play in the I call it the biggest league, which is the NBA. But it's not a North American game anymore. You're talking about it's people from all over, okay? And I say people because they got men and women now.
Yeah.
Okay. We just saw the WNBA playoffs, and some of them ladies do go to school, okay, and get their education, but some of them are not from North America, okay? Even though they transfer from wherever they from,
yeah.
You know, you're talking about Brazil, France, Italy, to come here to go to school and get their education and also get a chance to play in the WNBA.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of